The Beyond the Fame podcast is sponsored by the historic Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Step into 1865. President Lincoln has been shot and the city is in chaos. As the newest deputy to join the ranks, the investigation is in your hands. Join Detective James McDevitt as you retrace the footsteps of the Lincoln assassination through the streets of downtown D.C. Whether you're a history buff, a true crime enthusiast, or just looking for an entertaining way to get your steps in, there's something for everyone in history on foot. For tickets, visit Fords.org. This month's programming is also brought to you by Signature Theater in Shirlington, Virginia. Signature Theater presents Pippin, the Tony Award-winning musical from the composer of Wicked, featuring the hit songs Magic to Do and Corner of the Sky. Pippin now through July 26th. For tickets, visit sigtheater.org. And of course, this podcast would not be possible without our longtime sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured entertainment includes Hawthorne Heights on June 11th and Killers of Kill Tony on June 13th. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top artists and entertainers of our time. 10 years ago today, the Kennedy Center hosted its annual Spring Gala in Washington, D.C., honoring the iconic music of Marvin Gaye. I spoke with several of the performers backstage before the show, including Valerie Simpson, one half of the legendary duo Ashford and Simpson, who memorably wrote Ain't No Mountain High Enough for Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. I'm here with the one and only Valerie Simpson, who's going to be participating in tonight's event at the Spring Gala. Valerie, thanks so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Now, why, obviously tonight's a tribute to Marvin Gaye. What does he mean to you?
Well, you know, I have to give him credit for starting our career at Motown because it was his recording with Tammy Terrell of Ain't No Mountain High Enough, which was our song.
Which you wrote with your husband.
With Nick Ashford, that really, skyrocketed our career, our writing career.
Wow. Where were you when you guys came up with that song? It's a legendary song.
Yeah, it's a great song. Actually, we were in New York. Nick was walking down Central Park West, looking at the tall buildings and just saying, they're not going to stop me. They look like mountains, but they're not going to stop me. I'm going to make it. And that's really the inspiration for it. It wasn't a love song, but this overcoming. And I think people still feel that today, that, it's a song of overcoming and empowerment.
So the original title wasn't Ain't No Skyscraper Tall Enough. It was actually Mountain. No.
Ain't No Mountain. That was more poetic.
That's awesome. Now, Marvin Gaye, he had such range. He could do a song like you're talking about, which is that upbeat, but he also talked sort of to his smooth side, the let's get it on, the sexual healing, talk to that side.
Well, I have to say, I produced a lot of artists, and he is my favorite voice of all time.
Yeah. Why is that?
Such a sexy voice, which it had power in it, and yet it was soft and silky, and it could just rivet you and put you in a mood. And he was also a gracious singer. He really, if he was singing with someone, he allowed them to be a part of it, and he accentuated what they did. There's not too many singers that have those attributes.
Yeah. And what about so that was sort of his smooth side. What about he had sexual healing on the one hand, but he also had some social healing. He had some great social commentary, like what's going on. Talk to him about how, sort of as a musician, he sort of, tried to, bring people together.
I love that his own statement was so forceful, the What's Going On album, which sat on the shelf at Motown for a year because they couldn't hear it. They were so afraid of it, the social commentary. They wanted to keep him in that other light bag. And
where it
the
was
world,
safer.
Yeah, but the world needed to hear that. But, I think everything happens for a reason. It had to wait a year maybe because that was the right time. So when it came, it could be that Marvin could have written that this morning. It's still so relevant and so needed in the world. What's going on? Yeah, we're still asking that same question.
We don't need to escalate. Picket lines and picket signs.
Hey.
Yeah. How does it relate today, specifically?
Well, there are still picket lines out there. People are still, dealing with all of these issues. And That's why you will hear that song at a young person of 20 years old knows that song because it relates to their life today as well.
Right from those opening notes, you know, it's an all-time. It's one of the greatest songs ever written.
I believe it is.
Yeah, I mean, other than the ones you wrote, of
Oh.
course. So what are you going to be doing tonight?
I'm going to be doing Ain't No Mountain High Enough with Babyface, so that'll be fun. We know each other well, but we've never sung together, so that'll be the closer for the night.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, let me see. What are some of the other songs you get? You and Nick, the late Nick, right?
Nick Ashford. Yeah, we actually
let's
on
say,
the program
You're
tonight.
All I Need to Get By.
That's gonna be on
I'm
it.
Every Woman, man.
Yeah, but that'll be sung tonight. You're All I Need to Get By, and also Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. I think Lettucey and we'll be doing that as well. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. We
pleasure.
really appreciate it. You're a legend, and thanks for giving us Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Indeed.
All right, thanks.
I also spoke with legendary singer, songwriter, and producer Babyface.
I'm here with the one and only Babyface. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Now, this is awesome. We're backstage in your Kennedy Center dressing room. Looking around here, this is an awesome little spot. A, what are you going to be doing tonight? And B, what does Marvin Gaye mean to you?
I'm doing How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, and then doing Ain't No Mountain High Enough with Valerie Simpson, which is going to be very cool to sing with her, to be her Nick for the night.
She wrote it. I mean,
Yeah, she wrote it. Yeah, so it's amazing. And I mean, Marvin is, I don't know who doesn't love Marvin Gaye and how important he is. I've always looked at him as a national treasure for America and for the world. We all love his music and grown up with it, and it's a part of our DNA at this point.
Speaking of growing up with it, do you remember the first time you heard it? How old you were?
I think I remember the Tammy and Terrell thing, and also How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. It's from the very early stuff, but I just have a clear visual of seeing him and Tammy Terrell on what was it, Dick Clark show, American Bandstand. Yeah.
You'll never forget that, seeing that. That's for sure. Do you have a favorite Marvin Gaye song?
It's hard.
It's tough.
It's really hard. There are so many.
Is there one you think has inspired you the most?
Well, we just heard "I Want You," and then but there's "Distant Lover," and then he has love songs, and then he has songs that are social conscious songs, and so he was quite an artist. We don't make them like him anymore.
Speak to each of those. First there's the sexual healing, and then there's the social healing. Speak to each of those and why he was so great at that.
Well, I think what he was so great at, he always reached inside and wrote from an emotion that lived inside of him, and he wasn't afraid to bear it. He put it all out there, put it on his records, and so you could only imagine that he had to be somewhat tortured of how he laid it all right there, in the music.
Definitely. Well, it might be hard for you to believe, but you grew up listening to Marvin Gaye. I grew up listening to you. Every time I close my eyes and all the songs you wrote and produced, you're a legend in your own right, sir. Do you mind if let me just rapid fire really quick. I'll throw out a name and first thing that comes to your mind. Because we had Boyz II Men here, played at the Kennedy Center.
Nice.
You did Water Runs Dry and I'll Make Love to You Then. What was just a quick first thing that you think of working with them?
Oh, great time always. It's always great because they sing so well, and so we can kind of get through it really fast. It's a lot of fun.
Toni Braxton.
Classic voice. She's every time she sings on the microphone, immediately you know it's Toni Braxton.
Whitney Houston.
The best, my greatest of all time for me.
Mariah.
Another one, another classic voice. You just keep on giving me these people that I like.
You've worked with all the best. That's the problem.
They stand alone. I was fortunate to work with Mariah and Whitney separately and together. We did the Prince of Egypt together, so that was amazing.
What about Change the World with Eric Clapton?
Another big point in my life that I never saw that coming, but it came, and I was so glad to be a part of it.
TLC.
That's our first girl group on the Face that still has the record of being the biggest selling female group of all time. So we're very proud of them.
We could go on and on with this. We're not gonna. You've worked with all the legends, and you're a legend yourself. So, just bringing it full circle. How excited are you to be here at the Kennedy Center and such a prestigious place? Honoring such a famous guy, an important guy.
I'm honored to be part of it. and some great singers that are performing tonight, and so I gotta put my A game on and try to come hard because it ain't gonna be easy.
I think you got it.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
I next spoke with Brian Sledge, aka BJ the Chicago Kid.
And I'm here with the one and only BJ, the Chicago Kid. Thanks so much for joining us, sir.
And thank you for having me today.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we're here at the Spring Gala, a tribute to Marvin Gaye. What did Marvin Gaye mean to you? Do you remember when you first heard him growing up?
Definitely as a pup. I can't remember the day or the age, but I remember when I heard it, I remember that I was hearing something different, something that was definitely wasn't understood by many like kids my age. And I think that's another reason why I'm here today, because I understand that, and I understand him just a little bit more. I love him creatively, vocally, production-wise. I love everything about Marvin Gaye, man. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Aren't we all, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song?
It's very hard to pick one song.
It's like naming your favorite kid, yeah?
Yeah, and honestly, it's just a really cool fact that even me being signed to Motown Records and kind of understanding the legacy that he helped build at where I am is just another incredible fact and factor in what I do as well. So I continue to love Marvin Gaye beyond that, you know what I mean?
Do you have a couple favorites?
Let me see. Let's Get It On is one. I was talking to somebody earlier today. The whole Hear My Dear album is freaking incredible.
Yeah.
It's
Mercy,
nothing,
Mercy Me.
Yeah, I mean,
all of it's great.
But I love the things that it's not even like the most famous far as publicly or single wise. I'm a big fan, man.
Yeah, the B-sides,
Ah,
the deep
yeah,
tracks.
absolutely.
All right, I love it. Yeah. So when you signed with Motown yourself, what was it sort of surreal thinking about the legacy?
At some points, but in another point, it was just really just reality. Understanding everything I went through before that day added up to me being there, and is the reason why you know what I mean, pretty much existing now with Motown Records. It all adds up for me to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of what you're doing now, I believe you, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you came up sort of doing some background vocals, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me what it was like working, you did that for Mary J. Blige, right?
Mary J. Blige, Mary, Kanye West.
Kanye West. What was it like working with
Hamilton,
Mary
Jill
J. Blige?
Scott.
What you learned from her and what you learned from Kanye?
What I learned from Mary J. Blige is never settle. She's a woman that wants the best of the best, and I understand that. Kanye has the same element in his creativity, but what's crazy when other people don't understand is Kanye West always asks people, what do you think about this verse, or what do you think about this? Most people just go in the booth and do what they do and think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
So he seeks input from the other people?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
So
a nice little tidbit. There you go. See, a little extra on Kanye there. And then upcoming, don't you have something with Snoop Dogg too?
I've always been working with Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
I think I've never stopped working with Snoop Dogg. I call him Unc. Snoop Dogg is
Unc
yeah,
Dog?
Yeah, Unc Dog. No, I just call him Unc for short. I've known him for quite some time. He's always been very supportive of what I do. Always been there if I need him. So it's more of like an uncle thing. And I've learned from his career long before I've been able to even be signed in Motown Records. So this add up to why I call him Unc, and I can learn from him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing tonight? Can you give us a little teaser? This won't air until tomorrow morning, so you're not spoiling anything.
I can't give you a teaser, but I will tell you that I will be singing one of my favorites.
Favorite Marvin Gaye's.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And before we go, I looked on your schedule, and I think you're coming to Baltimore and D.C. coming up in July. Yeah.
The In My Mind tour is coming a little bit of everywhere. If not coming everywhere, we're very close to everywhere. So if you're anywhere close by, go log on to bjtck.com and find a city close to you, if not in your city, and come check us out, man. We specialize this show to be very interesting, so I would love for you guys to come out and check it out.
There you go. See, not just BJ the Chicago kid, BJ the Baltimore kid, the D.C. kid, all over. So thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Finally, I spoke with Hamilton star Leslie Odom Jr. just days before he competed at the Tony Awards.
I'm here with the one and only Leslie Odom Jr., who you guys know as Aaron Burr in Hamilton. Sir, thanks so much for joining us. It's an honor.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my honor. I've never been to the Kennedy Center before, so I'm very excited.
Isn't it beautiful here? Even these backstage rooms are crazy.
Gorgeous.
Awesome. What are you going to be doing in the show in tribute of Marvin Gaye here?
I'm going to do one of his early songs called Wherever I Lay My Hat Is Home, which is a favorite of mine, been for years, and then Inner City Blues, which was a later tune. I'm just praying I remember all the lyrics.
Oh, it'll come to you.
Okay.
It's just soaked down to the bones. We all know
promise?
Marvin. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you'll be all right. Do you remember when you first heard Marvin Gaye?
Oh,
Growing up?
sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, my parents really, one of the best things they ever gave me was the gift of music, the gift of their music, which was the best music probably America ever produced, that music of the 60s and the 70s. And so on long car rides, we would, listen to Marvin and the OJs and the Spinners and the Four Tops and the Temptations, so that's really where I learned how to sing, was from those car rides to Niagara Falls. And yeah.
Really, you did a
From
car ride to
Philadelphia.
Niagara Falls?
Oh, my
we did.
God.
I have a great car ride family vacation. Our van was stolen going to Niagara Falls one time. Yeah, so your experience was a little bit better than ours.
Just a little bit. It was either Marvin Gaye or talk radio, and believe me, I preferred Marvin Gaye. Believe me.
Yeah, I'm glad you decided to follow the music route, not the talk radio.
That's
I appreciate it.
It could have gone either way.
Are the songs you're singing tonight, are they your favorite Marvins, or are there other ones, any deep cuts or famous ones that you like?
Oh, sure. Well, these Wherever I Lay My Hat is actually one of my favorites, but I was invited to join rather late, which is totally fine with me. But
Michael Bublé had vocal, right?
yeah, so all the
I think we got the hotter hand, to be honest. You're up for a Tony it's this week, man.
it's this
right?
week. It's on Sunday.
That's a
It's
good
true.
substitution, baby.
Yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, all of the the ones that you would expect were taken, of course. So we had to dig a little bit.
Okay, that's awesome. Cool. Well, the Tonys came up, so congratulations, sir. I appreciate you coming and talking the week of the
Thank you
Tonys.
so much.
Are you excited? What are you going to be doing sitting there thinking? I mean, you probably watched the Tonys growing up for years, and now you're up there.
No, I'm gonna kind of treat it a little bit like I learned a lot from the day I got married, from my wedding day. It's a lot of planning, a lot of money, a lot of time and energy and thought that goes into that day. And then on the day, you really have to release and enjoy yourself and be present and let other people worry about where you're supposed to be and what time you're supposed to be there. So that's what I'm doing on the 12th. We're gonna stress up until the 12th, but once that day gets here, I'm gonna have a ball.
Yeah. What's it like knowing that you guys are up for a record number of awards? You're in a history-making show here.
Yeah, it feels amazing. It feels like this show that we all believed in is doing what we all believed it could, and it exceeds our expectations almost every night with every audience that we have.
And I think I saw a little fun tidbit when you were on Fallon. You said you don't dress up until right before the show.
That's
What's
right.
the deal with that?
Look, if I happen to be dressed right now, if I could have waited until 5 minutes before I sang, well, because it just gives you longer to think about not going out on stage. Because it's a scary thing. And so I'd rather actually pretend like we don't have anything to do that night. We're just here for a hang. And then at the last moment, somebody shoves me out on stage. But tonight I had to get dressed a little earlier.
Awesome. And in case some people missed your Tonight Show thing, recap the story when you finally left the stage and you were watching from the seats and you were with a famous person. Was it Art Garfunkel?
That's right. Yes.
Just recap that real quick.
It's dark in the theater, and so you're just around silhouettes. And there was a man. I was in the VIP section, so I knew that all these people were, somebodies. And there was a man down the row from me who was a little disruptive. He's talking to his wife. He's kind of singing along a little bit. It's very strange. And there's a woman in front of me who's getting very frustrated. She's turning around. Don't talk. Stop talking. It's not that hard. Just don't talk in the theater. And so I tapped my wife and I said, it's gonna get ugly at intermission. Yeah. She was really pissed. Yeah. And at intermission, the lights come up and the man is Art Garfunkel and the woman is Shonda Rhimes. And we have, I've since formed a really close friendship with Shonda, and she explained to me, you don't mess with people on their Hamilton tickets, right? Because Shonda had flown her three best friends into town. They paid God knows how much for those tickets.
It took a lot to get there.
That's right. It's an experience that you want to give people. So no harm, no foul. But the house manager had to talk to Mr. Garfunkel and asked him to be a little more quiet during Act 2, and he was.
Tell me about Lin-Manuel Miranda's genius. I believe I saw an article this week that said he announced sort of when he's going to be leaving. Is that the day? Are you going to leave around then? Is the rest of the cast? Is it all going to be at the same time?
We'll see. I'm still in talks right now. I'm open to staying, but it's been a long, full journey, and so if it ended for me on July 9th as well, that would be okay.
Well, what about his genius, though? We're playing off him every night. What does he give you as an actor?
Oh, please. Lin works with an improvisational spirit. And so even though we're not making up words every night, it feels wholly new. And it feels like we spin this yarn every single night. And that, all of the culture, all of our ethos in the Richard Rodgers Theater was given to us by Lynn. He's the visionary, and so we lined up behind him 2.5 years ago when we started this process, and we continue to do it each night. He sets just the most beautiful tone in the space, and it's my favorite place.
Well, his name is on the playbill and in the title, but you'll go down in history as the damn fool that shot him, right?
Yeah.
How's the line go? It's something.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got it.
Could you say it?
I'm the damn fool that shot him. I think that's how it goes.
Love it. Well, tonight's all about Marvin Gaye. We'll get to Hamilton and Tony's on Sunday, so best of luck at that. But first, let's pay tribute to a great man here.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Still, the best description of Marvin Gaye's legacy belonged to host Whoopi Goldberg during the ceremony, saying, quote, "He never scolded, he never preached, he seduced. Even with his protest songs, somebody somewhere was making a baby." Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.